utter a single word. It was as if all of our hearts stopped at the very moment, and we can't move anymore. The girl lifted her face, and the flashlight started to flicker. We couldn't see her face clearly due to the flickering, but then the light kept switching on and off for no reason. And with every flash of light, we could see the girl's vicious face with a changing expression. With the first flash, we saw her sad face. With the second flash, we saw a huge ear-to-ear smile on her face. With the third flash, we saw her expressionless face with wide eyes as if she could see through us. We were so shocked that we almost forgot to run. Just then, the girl made the same spine-chilling giggle and started to crawl towards us vigorously like a hungry demon. We all finally got our senses back and started to run for our lives. James and I were in front, and Andy was running behind. James kept saying, "Run, run!" Andy was screaming like a 10-year-old saying, "Don't leave me here! Please! She's behind me!" We reached the main door and turned around for Andy. We saw Andy was almost halfway up the stairs, and the girl was crawling behind him, following him like an animal. Somehow, we all managed to get out of the house and jumped on the boat. Andy dropped the flashlight on the lake in a fit of fear. James and I started paddling like maniacs. Andy was sitting on the boat, facing his back at the house. He got so freaked out that he kept saying, "I can still hear her evil laughter. Paddle faster, faster." James and I realized that he has gone into shock, because as far as our eyes went, there was no one in front of the house. James said in a low, panting voice, "Maybe she can't leave the house." I didn't say anything, just kept paddling. I still don't know how we managed to return home that night, but ever since this incident, news about any haunted place makes me sweat.
Burn the whole house down.
This happened 19 years ago, and it sure as hell was the most frightening
Yeah,
and
that
tragic
was
event
just how
that
scared
has,
I was.
and will certainly continue to mark me till the rest
So
of my
ugly
days.
though.
I just want to preface this by also telling you that if you're easily
I just shut
disturbed,
up.
the story isn't for you. But anyway, on with the
You
story.
shut up.
It was the
Why can't
evening of
you come
January
get on this side,
13th,
dude?
2001, and I was at a ski colony with two of my good
He loves
childhood
his
friends,
sister.
Josh and Mark.
In
In the colony, we were roughly about 40 kids, ranging anywhere from 8 to 16 years old, and we stayed in a giant hotel for about 2 weeks. Josh, Mark, and I were all 14 years old, and this was our first time ever on a ski colony together. We were all more or less troublemakers and liked to get into dangerous situations, but what I'm about to tell you was a consequence of us going too far. It was the second week of the trip, and skiing the same slopes got a little repetitive. We were getting bored of skiing at the ski park as well, so we decided to do some off-slope exploring. Meaning, instead of skiing on the slopes, we go off to the side and into the forest, while still keeping sight of the skiing tracks. One day, we were with our assigned group, which consists of about 8 kids. We were skiing at the very top area of the mountain, and that's when we decided to go off track. We had ventured our way down, and Mark said he would keep an eye on the track next to us. We all ski extremely fast, and for some reason, Mark wanted to compete on who could be the fastest without hitting any trees. I accepted, and all 3 of us went down even faster this time. It was now getting even steeper, and I was a little ahead than the 2 of them. That's when we all rapidly approached some sort of cliff that I had fallen down from. I assumed none of us saw it, because we all sort of made the jump. As soon as I hit the floor though, I stopped and looked behind me to see if everyone landed safely, because it wasn't a small jump to make. I saw Josh land right next to me, and he was fine, but Mark landed pretty harshly and sort of lost balance. Josh and I go up to him to check if he's okay, and that's when we realized we lost the track. Josh proposed the idea that we go back up, but it wasn't possible. It was too steep, and anyone who skis knows it takes significant time and effort to walk up a steep mountain in the snow while carrying skis. And besides, the cliff behind us was too tall to climb. We decided to just keep going down, and while we were doing so, turn to the right side. We go down slowly this time, and keep turning to the right, but unfortunately, there's just more of the same forested area. We figure out it's hopeless, and stop a second time to make out a plan. Mark loses all hope, and we all more or less tell him that it's okay. But it was now slowly getting dark, and kind of came to the terrifying conclusion that we were lost. At this point, we spent a good hour sitting down and talking.